People often ask me if I'm a channel or a medium, and the answer is no. I want to talk to you about that. Why it's dangerous or can be dangerous, what you need to watch out for, and what you can do yourself that doesn't require you to have to go to someone else to get some answers. You ready for this? Let's become empowered. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. Coffee. Coffee's good for you. Coffee's bad for you. Coffee's good for you again. You know what? There are people in their like 80s and 90s that smoke and drink. What's the deal? When you're ready to go, you're gonna go. But trying to be healthy is a good thing. You are in control of what you do, and I want to share something with you because we believe in out here, the material world, to the point where we believe that it's controlling us, and it does control us because we allow it. You hold unbelievable power, and I think so many people go to psychics and astrologers and channelers and all these things. They want answers. They want to be told it's going to be okay, and I'm going to tell you something right now. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I really mean this. Now, if you don't want it to be okay, or you're so addicted to the negativity, you will choose that reality. You are that powerful. What about these channelers out there? I am not going to name names because I'm not here to diss anybody. Because I mean, there's people like Seth, Jane Roberts, who channeled Seth and had some amazing things come through. I know there are other teachers out there that are pretty popular that people absolutely love who give amazing positive messages. But I'm going to tell you something about channelers. I happen to know about this. This is a subject that I'm very close to, and I'm not going to explain why, but I did work on a television series that was going to come out, and firsthand got to see some things and realized how many people out there claiming to be channeling somebody separate than themselves, and that what I heard most of the time absolutely made no sense at all to me. Not only did I not believe in what they were saying, I don't believe that they really were channeling somebody else. I think something else was going on. Now here's where I place my warnings for you to consider. It's like a Ouija board. If you can't see it, you don't know what it is. Even if you do see it, you can't be sure, because there is an unknown realm that is so much more flexible than we are in the material world, that can be anything and say anything at once. And as long as you open that door for it, it can come through. Why would you do that? Now, I know somebody who claimed to be the reincarnation of somebody and claimed to be channeling that very famous person. And during a talk show, when asked what city he was born in, couldn't name it. In fact, said a name that was wrong. And I sat there and I thought, the famous person would pretty well know where they're from. This stuff goes on all the time, and people want to believe it. They want to believe it. If somebody goes into some, hello, are you well? Okay, I am making fun. I'm having fun. Like, everybody goes, oh, it's come through. And there's a lot of scams out there. There are a lot of people who even believe that they're doing this. Now, again, I'm not here to take down that. But what I do want to share with you is that you have this information and ability yourself, but you don't have to allow a separate energy from you to come through. That is dangerous. You open that door, you don't know what they're going to say. Now I'm going to share something, because I read, years ago, I read one of the Seth books. I thought the messages were amazing, and I genuinely believe that Jane Roberts was channeling Seth. And there are videos on YouTube you can watch where she does that. She goes into this really heavy accent and makes jokes and stuff, and it's very cute, and I do believe that she genuinely was channeling this specific energy. But I'm going to share something with you about those energies. They're not God. They are just a facet of God, just like we are. And because they're dead, doesn't mean they have all the answers. Because our energy, our frequencies, range from high to low when we're here and when we're in the, non-material world. So when you go into that non-material space, which is amazing, you shed the density of being human, so you're going to feel amazing, but you still bring your own energy field, what you've done in the past lives, where you left off. If you were in a low frequency, you're going to carry that frequency with you and continue to learn and expand on the other side until which time you take on another adventure. That's how it works. We've heard this from literally millions of people who have shared that that's what goes on, that they don't become angels just because they go over the other side. They still have to deal with the consequences, the cause and effect of what they did here. This is why it's so important for you to be on top of this yourself, not looking to somebody else. So what she said about Christ could really shake you up a little bit. She said that Christ was never on the cross, that was a man who was drugged, and that he was told he was Christ, and they put him up there to make everybody think that Christ was killed. That's why Christ was walking around. And then you get a channeler who says something completely different. If you've ever listened to channelers, a lot of the time, they don't really say much of anything. So I want you to just understand that there's no information that's not available to you. I think what happens is you just don't trust yourself. You're not trusting yourself that voice, that message is genuinely you connecting to the collective consciousness. Now what we do is we go into fear. So a lot of the messages we give ourselves are just fear-based ego. And so that's when you have to just work on it and say, is this me being afraid? Because if it's going into a negative space, it's your ego and fear. If you're picking up on intuition, you may get uneasy feelings, but you probably won't go into fear, right? Fear is an ego-based feeling, energy, frequency, okay? It's a lower frequency. So fear usually is some conditioning in the human energy field that, I should be afraid of this person or whatever. And if you saw my video, I did a video called Am I Insane? I did something that most people would be petrified that is going on here in the U.S. and especially in Atlanta. We have some racial things going on here, but I put myself in a position of which could potentially be of great harm because I didn't feel any negativity from an energy field from another person in a dangerous, potentially dangerous situation. If I'd allowed my conditioning to say I should avoid, these people, or I shouldn't be in this place, or I should not talk to certain, that would be my fear talking. You have to watch that video to get the story. In other words, if you're in a situation that you are told is wrong or dangerous and your gut tells you that you're fine, you need to listen to your gut feeling. This is powerful stuff, and the more you allow yourself to connect to that, and I have quantum field manifesting meditations that help you do that, connect to that clean answer for you, because no channel can say what you should do, then you connect to it, you will start to get your own answers and feelings, and you'll start to connect to that intuition and know what to do. Now, I told you I have an astrologer who's amazing, and if you guys are interested, you can contact her. But she'll tell you that she can share all kinds of amazing information with you, but she's not predicting your future. She's telling you what's available to you, that you get to choose, and that's what's going to happen as far as how things align. That's not somebody sitting there predicting you and how things are going to work or what you should do. So I want to just share with you, I think so many people are so wanting to to look to somebody else to make it okay. This job, this is the answer. This relationship's the answer. The money's going to solve my problems, and it won't. That comes from here, and when you know that, that shows up. All those things align, because nobody can possibly make you happy. It's impossible. You are the only person who can do that. And if a certain situation enhances that, that's great. But if you rely on it, it can't possibly remain in that state of joy, because it's going to fail at some point. This person has to be perfect. This job has to be perfect. The money, and then you realize the money doesn't make you happy. If anybody's had money, you know, sitting in a huge house going, okay, I'm not really happy, and you get used to it. It's great because you don't have it right now and you want something. So channels, what do channels do? Channels, most of all, I think most of them are just people that are tapping into their own higher self, sometimes not. I have heard channels in the past, out of curiosity, listened to a couple for 60 seconds and heard some stuff coming out of their mouth that was not a higher self. So they're just tapping into their own personalities and beliefs that they believe is somebody else. It's always some alien or whatever. We're all one thing. You can call it whatever you want, but we're still one collective. So everybody's tapping into the same thing. It may have a different voice. And so the other thing I want you to understand is that when you tap into something that claims, when you're listening to somebody that claims to be something else, never forget that that is not Christ. It's not God. It's not a super clean high frequency. It's something in there that you don't know. And it may believe that it's giving you the right information. It may believe that it is right because it probably sees, some of them see us as, pretty dense beings here, and it may be on a higher level thing, and I'm going to help them, but maybe it's not on a super high level. So I want you to understand everything's just a frequency, and they can talk to you. I really think most of these people aren't talking to anybody. I really don't. I think they're themselves, and if you've noticed, they slip up once in a while and talk like it's them, because you can't keep that up the whole time. It's like, oh, so he or she is blah blah blah. Oops. I mean, she is or he is. And then they talk about the person. Oh, so-and-so is very uncomfortable with us coming through and doesn't try. Oh, stop. I want you to know, if you really want to do this, if you really want to tap into that, because you could spend all this time trying to figure out, is that true? Are they right? Are they giving all the answers? And they were like, wait, so-and-so said something different. Why? Because it's like people. We all have different opinions. The same thing goes on the other side. You don't need it. Now, I know there's some really amazing channels out there that are giving super positive advice and messages. That's cool. That's not, for me, that's not about the channeling. It's just somebody really giving you positive messages. Nothing wrong with that. And if you benefit from that, by all means, go into it. But when you believe that what they're saying is the be-all, end-all, then you got to question yourself as why you would hand your power over to somebody else that you don't even know who it is. All right? I don't get into channels. I've seen some stuff and I'm sitting there going, oh dear Lord. This is like, and then you ask them a question and they can't really answer it, or they go off on, some tangent. It's entertaining, but it's such a waste of time for me. It's like I have access to that, and no one can give you your personal answer. No one. People will ask me, what should I do? And I'm like, I can't give you answers. I don't know all the facts. I don't know how you feel. I don't know your history or whatever. And you have that answer, and you know if something's right. You know that, don't you? You can ask advice all you want. You want people to tell you it's okay, and then you end up doing what you want anyways, because that's what you need at the time. And even if you make a mistake in some kind of decision you make in your life, that is by not just choice, but what you need at the time to evolve. So maybe you need to go into that relationship that everybody tells you is bad for you. And you'll, okay, should I go with that? Oh, yeah, and then you do it anyways, right? How many people have done that? You go with the person you know is not good for you. You require that lesson to know for yourself that you have more self-esteem and brains than to do that. But sometimes we just need to go through it one more time and get our butts kicked to finally say, okay, they were all right, but I still needed to do this and I'm done with it. And that's the inner voice that's always talking to you. So even if you're making a mistake, it's what you need, the N word, I don't like need, but sometimes we need, certain lessons to evolve. So don't be afraid of that. We don't want to make any mistakes. Give me the perfect answer. And you won't adhere to that perfect answer because you're not there yet. If you are not awakened, you're still going to want to do all these other things to learn so that you can get to that point. It's the journey, my friend. Nobody just goes from here to here. There's always a journey in there. Any awakened person has gone through a very lengthy, painful journey to get to that point. Don't be afraid of that. That's why we came here. You don't need to go to somebody who's pulling something through, like channeling is like a Ouija board. For me, it's no different. It's no different. Let's pull somebody through and ask it questions. Oh, I'm going to step. And then the worst part, at least a Ouija board, something out there you don't know talking to you. Channelings, you're letting it come through your body? No. Don't go into that space. You don't require another energy field to come through you to get your own answers. And this is where the power of our awakening starts to kick in, when we realize we don't need any of that. So again, I'm not here to knock the channelers. I think there's some really amazing people out there with amazing guidance for you. And if if that's what you desire to tap into at the moment, it helps you. There are all kinds of different teachers out there. Question everything. Question everyone. Question what you hear. If it doesn't feel right to you, that's not your space. And maybe I've had people come back 2 or 3 years later and said, I wasn't ready to hear certain things that were a little cray-cray to them, that now they're saying, oh, I get it. I get what you're saying. And I am in that space. I believe this. So you don't have to believe what I tell you or anybody else. They don't have the answers. None of us has the ultimate answers because you are on your own individual journey. And through that, you become empowered because everyone has equal access to all answers, all creativity, all inspiration, everything, according to what they need at the time. What do I need right now to go into this space, to be healthier, or to go into awakened space, or to end fear, or to stop worrying about money, or what do I need, and you ask this, and you open, you let it go, and it shows up. People, you guys are right, me said, I finally let go. I let go, and all these, somebody just wrote me, oh my gosh, she said she let go of everything. She got money, job offers, a partnership in a business. You guys know that we work on this, internet business. She couldn't do it on her own. She wanted somebody to come in and help her. Somebody offered to partner with her. And I went, yay. I could tell she was so happy. Why? She completely let go. She wasn't afraid trying to control the ego. And so you're channeling your own power and your own answers, and your requests are being heard because you have no blocks between you and that which you desire. You finally just stopped saying, oh, I need it, I must have it, it's I don't deserve it, and what's going to happen? And like block, 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 and you just go. Come into my conscious manifesting workshop. I happen to know there's another major dude teacher out there that launched, see, we're tapping into the same space, that launched a conscious manifesting course. It's more expensive than mine, by the way. And I went, we have the almost identical titles for this. I happened to launch mine before he did. But see, this happens a lot, because this is why I don't watch other teachers. I don't want to be, I don't want suggestions, because your ego will get involved in that. I don't want to be, I don't want to say tainted, but influenced by somebody else. I want it to come straight from me, my downloads. So the more you go out there, the more you're influencing. You won't know if it's your answer or somebody else influencing you. Because once that information and that energy field's in there, it will influence you. So my conscious manifesting workshop is really backing up. If you've taken any one of my courses or master classes, I will spend 3 hours with you, and we're actually going to do a workshop. We're going to talk about how do you actually physically and then with your powers work with this every day. We know how this works. You guys feel great after the class, and it's like, okay, what are my daily practices? How can I tap into that unlimited power? And so we talk about it, and we go in here, and I give you exercises and practice, and we do that for 3 hours. So if you guys are interested, it's down in the description. You can go to landriaonkka.com for any of these courses. But I give you, if you're signed up to my list, which is down here, that's free, I give all of my Manifest Anything students the discount codes for everything. They get first look. You got the tools. Use them, because you are the powerful one for you and your journey, and no one can possibly know what that is or give you the ultimate answers for you. All right? Maybe you need to date the jackass to learn how to love yourself. And somebody else would tell you not to do that. That may not be the right solution for you. So you must tap into your evolution of your own soul. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Come on over, take one of my classes, subscribe, and please share these. You know my goal is to hit 1 million subscribers. I hope to do, I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm still going. And know that you are unconditionally loved. Unconditionally loved. You're never alone, and those answers await you, but you have to give permission. Free will cannot be infringed on by anybody. They can try, but they can't. No one can make you feel or do anything. Only you are in charge of that. So when you open the doors and ask for the answers, you will receive them. I promise you that. You just have to listen. Namaste.